Now, our next guest is career coach Leonie Lam, and she's got so much experience working with people who might be thinking about what's next for them. So, Leonie, thank you so much for coming on the show today. I really appreciate you being here.
Good afternoon. Thank you, Kayla, for the opportunity. And good afternoon to everyone who's listening. I've been watching your comments online, so it's very engaging.
Yeah, in terms of all of the individuals who have come to you and been thinking about a career change and you've helped them to do it, tell me about some of the emotions that go with leaving one industry and starting in another.
Yes, I have worked with a number of different individuals who have pivoted in their career, moving from one industry to another. And in particular, last year, I had a client who works in the aviation industry, and I helped her transition from her previous career to a new career in the retail industry. So we were looking at transferable skills. So I'm definitely familiar with the emotions that come with career change, transition. So I'll just quickly share with you a personal story where potentially some of the people who are listening in right now can relate to when it comes to career change. In 2008, I actually moved from an HR consultant role into teaching English overseas. And so that was very different for me, being an HR consultant at Westpac. Contract ended and I flew overseas to China to teach English. Now, listening to Janine and Jessica, I didn't have any experience as a teacher. I didn't have any experience, any qualifications as a teacher. I had qualifications in HR, and I took on the adventure to go overseas and teach English. Two of the emotions that came up that were quite dominant was, number one was the excitement, happiness, looking forward to becoming a teacher, looking forward to travel, looking forward to learn new skills, looking forward to meet new people. But on the other hand, there was the element of fear, and that fear was, can I do the job? Will the students listen to me? What happens if I fly overseas and I'm unable to do my job when I'm going to come home? Will people like me? So there are elements of fear. So there's the emotions of the excitement, the happiness, as well as the fear. And you doubt yourself, and it's very normal. Some of the key lessons learned, as Michael mentioned, is it's all about the lessons you learn in the experiences in your life. So one of the key lessons was to be actually understand, acknowledge, and accept the emotions that I was going through. And it's all the self-talk that does the stories that you play in your mind that certainly can affect your experience. So really being mindful of my emotions and going and being comfortable. So be kind to yourself if you are looking for work at the moment.
Yeah, and being kind is just such an important thing. And yeah. I think that, we're talking about just putting your hand up and giving it a go. And what you're saying about accepting fear is a really important part of that you've got to accept your fear and feel good about yourself. Be kind to yourself, as you say, before you give something new a go.
Absolutely.
And in terms of people who are interested in pivoting to a different career, but they don't know what that next career might be, what's your advice on discovering your own transferable skills?
Yes, it's a wonderful question. Definitely think that you would need to do, there's three ways I'd like to share with you. The first technique is to do a skills audit. So to actually think about your career and for the previous jobs you've had, think about what skills have you gained so far, and look at job advertisements and the jobs that you are interested in. Look at the key requirements of the advertisement and actually to reflect on what skills do you have that are transferable to that role. Employers are generally looking for people who have good communication skills, who's a team player, who can problem solve, who's organized and efficient. So there is, I invite you to Google search employability skills, and there's a list of skills within the employability skills that will make you more employable. So you can start with doing a skills audit. Secondly, for everyone listening, think about the tasks and the projects you've succeeded, that you've completed. Ask yourself the question, what skills did I need in order for me to complete that task or the project? Even better, talk to some of your friends and share your success stories and ask them for feedback as to what they think are some of the actual skills within your success stories. Moving on to my final technique, which is simply ask for feedback from your network. Ask for feedback from people, your work colleagues, your managers, previous managers. Get some feedback from them about your skills, top 3 skills. And while you're there, ask them what sets you apart as a professional in the marketplace. With this information, you can then build it into your cover letter, build it into your interview skills so you can land the job that you're looking for. And thank you.
And Jane says in the comments that being kind to yourself is such a wonderful mindset. And Stuart says that emotions play such a big part in changes. So I can see that people are really connecting to what you're saying, Leonie, and applying it to their own life. Now, in terms of looking at that next job and looking at how you put yourself forward, how important is emotional intelligence for landing that next role?
I think emotional intelligence is important in your career, and certainly in the interview process. I think it certainly is also very useful when you're at an interview. So, for example, if you're in an interview where there's a couple of people in the panel, and if you have a high level of emotional intelligence, you're able to look at the interviewers, and let's say that one of the interviewers actually gives you that look like, oh, I don't know if you're on track. If you have a high level of emotional intelligence, you're able to look at the person's facial expression, and then you're able to then clarify, ask questions. Oh, am I on track? And then lead that conversation where you bring it back on track. So I've got a book here on emotional intelligence, highly recommend it. It's by Travis Bradbury and Jean Greaves. And I'll just end with a final quote here. Emotional intelligence is so critical to success that it accounts for 58% of performance in all types of jobs.
Well said. Look, I want to thank you so much for your advice today, Leonie. I can see that people are really connecting to it. So thank you so much for your time.